Welcome to the introductory module of Sacred Narratives, the literary craft of the Bible. This course approaches the Bible as a literary work, enhancing students' appreciation of the people, cultures, and messages contained within its pages. By engaging with the text as literature, we will explore a variety of literary techniques and how the stories of the Bible employ them. It's important to keep in mind that context plays a vital role in our understanding. The course comprises 5 modules that help you understand the material better. The first module will focus on Old Testament narratives and the core principles of storytelling. In the second module, we will explore the intricate world of poetry and wisdom literature. In Module 3, we'll go through the Gospels and see how Jesus taught his disciples and the crowds. Next, we'll talk about the early church by reviewing Acts and the letters in the 4th module. The last module is about visionary literature. It looks at prophecies from the Old Testament prophets, Jesus, and the book of Revelation. When a map is shown, it is provided by Logos Bible Study Atlas, Logos Bible Study, computer software. You may ask, doesn't this suggest that the Bible is fictional? Regarding it as literature doesn't mean it's fictional, although authors sometimes use fiction as a narrative technique. The acknowledgement of the Bible as a literary piece does not undermine the notion that God inspired its authors. In 2 Timothy, we see this. All Scripture is inspired by God and profitable for teaching, for reproof, for correction, for training in righteousness, so that the people of God may be adequate, equipped for every good work. In past centuries, when few could read and write, humanity depended on the craft of verbal storytelling to convey knowledge, using established narrative conventions. The Bible contains many genres: history, biography, and other types of storytelling. Poetry, which is found in the book of Psalms, but also as praise songs, worship songs, and lamentations, expressions of sorrow or grief, in other books. Wisdom literature, such as Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. The Gospels, which include short stories and parables. Narratives tell the story of Jesus, focusing on his ministry and passion. He used parables as a teaching method, incorporating imagery and coded messages. Acts and letters from the Apostle Paul and others seek to provide direction and inspiration for the new churches. Visionary literature, which includes prophetic and apocalyptic visions. This overview does not offer an exhaustive treatment of literary techniques and how they appear in the Bible. The goal is to acquaint the participant with this approach of interpreting the Bible to nurture a closer connection with God. Many scholars engage in a thorough analysis of literary techniques. 2 books that guided this effort are How to Read the Bible for All Its Worth by Gordon D. Fee and Douglas K. Stewart, and How to Read the Bible as Literature by Leland Ryken. When analyzing a story, it helps to pay attention to settings. Location may contribute to the plot by acting as the source of the conflict, such as a drought or a raging sea. A field or vineyard filled with ripe crops will arouse different emotions in the audience than a battlefield filled with corpses. Culture, customs, and period impact the story's theme. Dialogue slows the pace of the plot, alerting the reader to pay attention. Dialogue exposes various character traits like patience, kindness, or anger. The beginning of a dialogue provides clues to what is important to the narrator. Dialogue between two characters may show a contrast between them and give the reader more insight into the motives of the character. Sometimes, one character will repeat or summarize the crucial part of a statement to provide emphasis. Being conscious of symbols and imagery is crucial as they convey significant information with minimal words. Symbols have a literal meaning, but suggest a different meaning. Sometimes, symbols served as a code to communicate with other Jews without the Gentiles understanding their meaning. Images used a vivid description to appeal to the reader's senses. Here are some examples. The Garden of Eden is a symbol of perfection. God created it, and humans lived there in the beginning. Abundance of food, life, health, and perfect harmony in nature prevailed. Being expelled from the garden symbolizes loss of innocence and the beginning of danger, labor, illness, and death. Genesis describes the garden, and Revelation describes a new earth that repeats many images of the original garden. The Promised Land was an area God set aside for the Hebrews as a safe and prosperous place to live in obedience to Him. It contrasted with Egypt, where the Hebrews suffered as slaves. Symbolism in numbers. The Jews attributed special meaning to numbers, with the number 12 representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus further emphasized this significance by appointing 12 apostles. According to biblical accounts, God took 7 days to create the heavens and the earth. The number 7 recurs throughout the Bible. Revelation features 7 trumpets, plagues, and churches. Sacrifices often included 7 lambs or 7 bulls. Another number is 4. The 4 winds and the 4 corners of the earth symbolize completion or fullness. The number 40 suggests transition or change, such as the Hebrews spent 40 years in the wilderness, while Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness. Moses appointed 70 elders to help him settle disputes. Psalm 90 refers to 70 years as our normal lifespan. The Jews were in exile in Babylon for 70 years. Jesus combined 7 and 70 by saying we should forgive 70 times 7. As an agrarian society, the people understood the meaning of roots and their importance for a plant to grow. Roots, or stumps, represented ancestors. while branches, fruit, or stems represented descendants. They drew the distinction that bad roots produced bad fruit, while good roots produced good fruit. Water is a recurrent symbol. In Genesis, the sea stands for chaos. Later, God directs Moses to produce water from rocks in the desert. The Jews crossed the Jordan River to enter the Promised Land. Jesus claimed to be the living water during his encounter with the Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. Jonah embarked on a ship to escape from God. But when a powerful storm jeopardized the vessel, the sailors threw him into the sea, and a large fish swallowed him. Many literary techniques appear in the narratives. Understanding the technique will point to clues to understanding the Bible. Module 1 involves analysis of the Old Testament narratives.